welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Jeffree Star Cosmetics, not him personally. Well, we'll get into him a little bit personally, but not him, the person per se, but we're going to be discussing the brand and why I still use his products on my channel. Now, this is not a video that anybody asked for. It was just something I was thinking about doing because there's so many people that have canceled him, that don't buy his products, don't want to discuss them on their channels, which is totally fine. But I think it might be interesting to like kind of look at the other side of things and why I still, I guess, technically support the brand and why I still, I mean, I don't purchase a lot from him and I do try and get things on sale. I have bought things off of Poshmark, and I'll show you the things that I bought from Poshmark. But generally I try and get things on sale. And yeah, we're just going to discuss the brand and why I still use it on my channel. So yeah, if that sounds interesting, stick around, make sure you're subscribed, and we're going to go through the products that I have. And I'll show you everything that I still have. I decluttered my liquid highlighter because it was super chunky, like the glitter, like the formula itself wasn't chunky per se, but it had like glitter chunks in it. And when it dried down, it just looked like, and I like glitter. I like a glittery highlighter, but I just could never get it to look right. So I just threw that away because I've had that for a while. And then two, I only have one, what are these, Skin Frosts? One I sent to a subscriber and unfortunately it broke in the mail. And then Princess Cut, which is a pink one, and then the mint one. My 4-year-old has them. She has some of her own makeup, and they're nice big pans and they're hard pressed. So I won't open this just yet, but so she uses the pink one as kind of a glowy blush, and then the mint one just is like, she's learning, obviously she's 4 how to do makeup, but and it's not that those two were bad. I have other, I don't wear pink highlighter often, and I just wasn't reaching for Princess Cut. And the same thing with the mint highlighter. I did like it at one point in time, but if I'm gonna wear a green highlighter, I typically will use my KVD one or my Kaleidos one are typically the ones. So it wasn't being used, and she uses them. So I do have several brushes. These are the ones that he did in collaboration with Morphe. So I have the newer like eye set, which is like solid pink, and then his original set. So I do have the brushes. I think I have most of them. My 4-year-old may have taken a few just because they're pink, but like these two I use for powder. Like I set my under eye with this, and then this I use all over. So I've had these for a while and I do like them. And I primarily bought those because they were pink. And then I have the Morphe sponge of his, the pink one, but I don't like the Morphe sponges anymore. They're too dense. So I think I'm going to throw, though I used one recently and I didn't like the way it applied. But anyway, I never bought his concealer or his powder. Just because it's pricey. Like I said, I like to get things on sale. So I primarily have eyeshadow, a couple highlighters, and some lipstick. So it's not a ton. So I will go through the lip stuff and the highlighters first, and then we'll do the palette. So I only have 3 lip colors. I went through my liquid lipsticks a couple weeks ago, and I ended up having to throw away 3 because I used to have 6 Jeffree Star, because I used to be able to fill my whole drawer with him. I've got now 3 of my Wet n Wild ones in the back, but my favorite shade, Scandal, turned, like they smelled funny. My purple one that I had turned, and I think there was one more, because like I said, there was 3. I don't remember what the other shade was. So these are the 3 that I still have. Unicorn Blood is newer, and this is one that I've wanted for years. This is like a blood red, vampy. If I'm gonna wear a red, this is the kind of red that I like. And then I have poinsettia. This came in the mystery box that I got. And I do actually like it. Semi-metallic. I'm like re-smelling them all just because I'm paranoid now. I've been doing that with all of my liquid lipsticks because it seems like when some turn, they all turn at the same time. And then I have Diva, which I think I bought a shirt And this was like a free gift with purchase. And I do like hot pink lipstick. So, and these all smell fine. Yeah, I was really sad about Scandal. It was kind of mauve-y nude. It had a little bit of shimmer, and it was from the Alien collection, I think, is when that palette launched. So it was old, but yeah, I was sad about the ones that I had to get rid of. But like I said, when they turn, like, I will keep liquid lipsticks until they go bad, and then I toss them. I have 2 bullets. I had a third one. I had unicorn blood in a bullet, and I bought it used on Poshmark, and the closure like didn't stick really well, and I think it got kind of dried out. And since I got the liquid, I just tossed it. But I have Starfish, which is a pretty, and these smell fine, shimmery pink. And then what is this? I don't even know. Candy Freeze. Oh, my daughter got a hold of that, but that's another hot pink. I'm gonna smush. She's learning how to, so she had it up too far and then it's stuck into the lid, but it's still fine. They're just this one's very soft, so that turned into a little bit of a mess. But they're both like hot pinky shades. Do I wear these? No, but I have them. They're here. Generally, if I'm doing more fun makeup looks, I keep the bolder colors for that. I will wear them out. I'm not afraid to. I just, like the bullet lipsticks, I don't tend to wear bright colors out. If I'm going to do a bright color, I tend to use a matte. So like Devo is one that, because it dries down, it's not going to get all messy. For the Skin Frost, the one I have is the Mystery Frost, and this came in the Halloween. I only got one of his subscription boxes. I just don't need a bunch of makeup, and it's just too much product. But I actually really, really like this, and I do use it during the fall. It looks really odd because it, it's orange and, the black, but it's a really pretty warm orangey gold. And I don't have anything that color, like I don't have a warm gold that looks exactly like this. So I do like it during the fall because it kind of ties in, wear an orange blush, use a warmer highlighter. So I really, really like this one, which is why I still have it and I still use it. Like I said earlier, Princess Cut and Mint Frost, while I liked them, I just wasn't reaching for them anymore. So I didn't really have anybody else to give them to, so I let my 4-year-old take them. And then I have one Supreme Frost and Wet Dream. I think I got this on Poshmark, so I didn't pay full price. But I do like layering this with, I forget what highlighter I layer it with. I think I like layering this with Rodeo Drive from Ofra. So I'll put that down first and then put this on top because this is very sparkly, but it's got a really pretty, like it's the same tone almost. So like I said, I'm not opposed to glittery highlights, but I just could not get the liquid highlighter, and it was one that I got in the mystery box. But so those are the 2 that I have, and it's because I use them. I like them. So there's those. Let's put them out of the way. So let's get into the eyeshadow palettes. Let's move this one. So one of my favorite palettes of all time, and this, I ranked, the eyeballs are a little dusty, don't judge me. I ranked my Jeffree Star palettes a couple of months ago, and this used to be like my #1 Jeffree Star palette. This was not #1 in the list, but as far as my all-time favorite palettes out of my collection, the Alien one is still one of my favorite, like top 10. Would hunt this down if I lost my makeup collection. I've talked about this a ton on my channel. It looks very basic, and I was one when I saw pictures initially. I was like, that is the most boring palette that I've ever seen in my life. But like Interstellar is a really pretty, it's got a shift to it almost. And then Probe, I love like bluey brown duochromes. And then there's a couple others. I'm only going to swatch those 2 because I don't want to be here for a million years, but it's just a pretty palette. Like the looks I get out are pretty. I just really, really like it. So this is still one of my, and Black Hole is one of my favorite blacks. So yeah, still one of my favorite palettes. I wish he would relaunch this with different packaging. I would rebuy this. If he relaunches this palette in different packaging for like the anniversary of this or something, I would repurchase it just so that I have another one, because he discontinued it and you can't it's hard to get your hands on it. You can still find it on Poshmark, but you really got to keep an eye out. And then people, because it's discontinued, want to ask astronomical prices for it. So I did buy mine, fun fact, on Poshmark. I think I paid $10 over retail price, but it was when it had launched and it had sold out. So that was the only reason. Let me go help the baby. This is actually the palette that was #1 in the list, which is surprising because I'm not a huge purple user, but I like that this is not, it's messy, as purpley as it could be. Like there's a lot of mauvey pinks in here, which is probably why I like it. And I really like this. What is this shade? Take the Crown. It's very chunky, but it's pretty. I like Pink Magic too. And again, it's chunky, but very, very sparkly. And I like the looks that I get out of this. I even like Executioner. It's a pretty black. The purple sparkle, I think, works. It's one of those like sequence shades. Yeah, it's just a nice palette. This is one that I got on a Black Friday sale, so I did not pay full price. I got this like 40% off. I have Blue Blood. It's a blue palette. I don't use it often. I don't do blue eyeshadow a ton. Blood Sugar is one that I gripe about. I like the Blood Sugar palette, but there's not enough reds and pinks in here, in my opinion, because if you take out like even the bottom row, it's a neutral palette with like some pops of like, this is a pink, this is a purple. Like you only have two like red shades and then a red shimmer. So that's my gripe with this palette, but I do like it. I tend to do the same look with this. It's like a watermelon-y look, but I do like it. My husband got me this when it launched because this is one that I said, like, if they come out with a green palette, I want it. My husband's favorite color is green. Again, it's got a black sequence shade that I've never actually used. I've only used this a couple of times. And there's some pretty, like this is a pretty duochrome in Money Heist. It's got a, like a greeny shift. It's really, really pretty. But yeah, I don't use it. Haven't used it a ton. It's one that could have had more green in it than it does, but it's not bad. It's definitely better than Blood Sugar. I think Blue Blood, as far as monochromatic palettes, my cat's making noise, has the most blue. Because even the purple palette leans more, Bloodlust leans more pink to me than purple. And then I have the Cremation palette. I got this on sale on Beauty Bay. It was 40% off. I've used it probably once or twice. You can kind of see like I dipped in here. These are chunky, but it is pretty. It's a nice monochromatic palette. Do you need this? Not even a little bit. Hearse is another good black shade. I would say Black Hole's probably a little bit more pigmented than this, but his shadows are pigmented and they blend. But yeah, I got it on sale. And then I have Jawbreaker, which is probably the most used of his palettes on my channel, just because anytime I'm doing a colorful rainbow look, this is the palette I reach for. And you're probably thinking, well, like there's not, like I have blues, dark, medium, light. There's pinks. You know, you got a darker pink and the lighter pinks. And you got yellows, some oranges. Like the purple in here is lilac. And then this is shimmer, but because that's really the only thing this is lacking are purples. I also have Minibreaker. This came in the Halloween mystery box. So you've got a couple, like Bubblegum's a repeat shade, but you've got some mid-tone purples and then Bite Me. So these two are repeat shades out of Jawbreaker, but like this is a pretty duochromy purple. And then another orange and then a mustard shade. So you've got some extras. So I think together you have every shade you could want to try and do a look. So these are probably the most used. Now, let's get into why do I still use his makeup? Well, for one, I have it. I am not one of those. I bought all of these with my own money. And even the ones that came in the mystery box, like the Minibreaker, I paid for the mystery box. So I paid money for these. So I'm not in a position where like there's a good chunk of money sitting here, so I'm not just going to throw them away. And you could say, well, you know, you don't have to film videos with his palettes. No, I don't. But I thankfully have a pretty good audience with most of the subscribers that are on my channel. Nobody's ever come after me for using his products, because most of you that are subscribed to my channel have one or some of these palettes, because I get requests periodically to do tutorials, and I apologize that I never got around to doing them, but there's that. There are people I think that were more crucified for supporting the brand and stopped using his palettes, or just wanted to stop using them. And I'm also on the stance where if you go back a couple of years on my channel before the drama with him came out, I never thought that he was a stellar human being. And I spoke about that some on my channel. So for me, when it came out, you know, that he had done all these things and was awful, I wasn't surprised, because I already had that opinion of him anyway, and I was already using his products when I had that opinion of him. It was just one of those things where the rest of the world kind of caught up. So for me, I didn't see an issue, because I never agreed with a lot of the things that he was doing before. It was just, like I said, other people had, you know, kind of blinders on and didn't realize it at the time, or didn't pay attention, or, you know, weren't as aware. So for me, my opinion never changed. So if I was using the stuff when I didn't think he had a stellar personality before, what, just because society decides to cancel him, I didn't really see a need to stop using his stuff, because like I said, this is my most used, one of the most used palettes on my channel. And yeah, there are people that still buy his stuff and support the brand. So again, I didn't really see a reason to stop. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't want to support him anymore, that is totally your prerogative. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having that opinion. It makes me a little bit sad, just because it's harder for me to find inspiration on the internet, because a couple of those channels that I would go to find looks, they don't support him anymore. So I've got to come up with things on my own. So that's made it a little bit harder. But other than that, like I said, I never had a high opinion of him before. So for me, nothing changed. Just everybody else kind of figured out what was going on with him. So yeah, that's why I still use his products. Like I said, thankfully all of you, the subscribers on my channel are really, really wonderful if you're new here. And I've never been crucified for using his stuff, knock on wood. Now, if somebody wants to give me a hard time about using his products, people are allowed to have their opinion. But yeah, because I have this stuff, and many subscribers of mine also still have Jeffree Star palettes, it's helpful for them that I do still do videos. So there's some, you know, demand also. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. Just kind of a short video. Hopefully this wasn't too long-winded. Leave me a comment if you want to see a video on any of these palettes. I had requests to do more Bloodlust tutorials, and I think I had requests at one point to do Blood Money. I don't remember. I'm able to film more now, so if there are palettes that, you know, the palettes that I have that you want to see looks with, leave them down below and I will definitely add those to the list. So thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and hopefully I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye, everybody.